Okay, we finally have only one key to obtain, but rest assured, this is the worst one of the bunch. This is mainly the section where you're gonna start running out of ammo and all of the good things like that. And yeah, there's actually a thought that occurred to me into this level. You don't see Excalibur into this level, but considering that most of this level is pretty big always, into this level it will have been actually useful, but for some reason you just don't see it at all. And when I was saying that all of the secrets into this level were necessary in order to be able to beat the level, it's not like in many levels where secrets is generally just a source of life items and some food or something like that. No, into this level, secrets are pretty much the home of flame walls, of dark staves, the fire bomb. So basically all of the secrets are filled with a whole bunch of the hard-hitting missile weapons into the game. Hence why I was saying that in order for this level to be any kind of enjoyable, you need to know where every single secret is. Otherwise, you're gonna run out of missile ammo. There's no way around it. And this is mainly the reason why I hate this room, because you pretty much can't use your missile ammo at all unless that you run all the way back. Which means it's machine gun time! All the time, because this is what it's gonna take you. A million of time. Oh my god, I hate shooting monks with the machine gun. It's so tedious. Why would they want to make you do this? I really don't know what was the reasoning behind this area horror episode or anything, because it really looks like that they've designed this episode to be an episode of avoidance, as in, instead of fighting the enemies, you had to avoid them as much as possible by making it so that they made them so boring and tedious to fight that, well, you will run away instead of trying to fight them the way they're supposed to be fought. But generally, when you run away from enemies because they're too tedious to fight, well, that's actually not a good sign of game design. It just means that you want to get it over with so you don't even enjoy fighting the enemies. So, yeah, in all fronts, it's terrible. So right now you see why the flame wall is my all-time favorite weapon into the game. Some people thought that the firebomb was a better weapon, but yeah, the firebomb couldn't really kill as many enemies in one hit. Couldn't. Well, it will heavily cripple them, but it won't kill them. But with that said, if you shot 2 firebomb projectiles into such a huge gathering of monks, they probably still all will die, so it's still not too far behind. But still, the flame wall does everything that you want to know with only one shot. Try it. You'll love it. TM. So, yeah, what could we possibly talk about? Because I really have nothing to say about this level anymore. It's just bad, but come on, you cannot say that a level is bad for half an hour, because, well, it's gonna make for a very shitty video, but yeah, I was reading some of the interviews that were posted into the player guide of Rise of the Triad, and I was just really surprised that when Tom Hall was talking about the eventuality of having Rise of the Triad 2, that it will be made under the build engine and all of this. I don't know, I just find this really, really amusing, if only because, well, back then the build engine was pretty much the most marvelous thing that there could be out there. However, it's pretty funny to read Tom Hall's reaction about Extreme Rise of the Triad, because, well, I figured that back when this book was released, Extreme Rise of the Triad was not released yet, so here's what Tom Hall said about it. We will probably release a level pack. I wanted to make one for hardcore gamers that pull every trick in the book, just horribly dangerous and often quite unfair. It will be fun to see if anyone could get through it. And for some reason, it just seems so fitting, considering that, well, after playing through Extreme Rise of the Triad, it just showcased most of the time that whoever made this, well, it was Tom Hall and Joe Sigler, but It doesn't even look like they even took the time to beta test those levels or anything, because there are so many things which can go wrong in it. So, while we were talking about Extreme Rise of the Triad, we currently set foot into the final section of the level, which is the worst of them all because there's still another optional hard area left, and into this part of the level which is inhabited by probably something like 30 monks or so, there are no missile weapons at all. If you want any missile weapons, you need to take the elevator all the way back to the first part of the level in order to get it, because otherwise you're not getting anything. Honestly, if I didn't have a god mode earlier from that random power up from eons ago, I probably would have been in great trouble. So let's see what it's there before I backtrack all the way back to the second floor. Hey, I'm not gonna have to backtrack after all. Good doggy! Eat everybody! Especially those monks, because he's fat, and you need fat nutrition in order to be healthy and well. So good news, we're not gonna have to backtrack after all, because this dog mode will help us reach into the hard optional area of the level, and guess what you get? Another dog mode. So basically, in order to be a dog, you must be a dog. Yeah, that seemed like a pretty redundant proverb, but hey, it does still work anyway. So, while the worst level of the game comes to a close, well, none of the upcoming levels are as bad, although yeah, the boss level is also pretty horrible because it's almost into the same vein as this level, aka lots of monks, few missile weapons, and finally one of the bosses that pretty much drove a lot of people insane because nobody could figure out what you were supposed to do against it. Considering that, well, the clues that are leading to what you have to do are really, really vague. Honestly, the only kind of qualification that I've offered two levels in order to demonstrate the fact that they were okay was pretty much, hey, it's not as terrible, it's not too painful, it almost resembles something good, and well, that's pretty much the story of this level. Out of the entire episode so far, the only levels that were any likable were level 1, as well than the previous level that we've played. Other than that, yeah, there's still one decent level coming up. But we're finally done with this shitty, thank you, drive-through, and here we go, we have a symphony of dog barking. And it's been a while since we've heard it too. So here we go, the nightmare has temporarily come to an end, but hey, it's gonna resume into the next episode. Coming up next, it's episode 4, Area 5, Backfire.